students, welcome to another language video. This video is for students of standard 8th, 9th and 10th. For standard 8, again, you have done a bit of this in the 7th standard, but we're going to build on what you did in the 7th standard. For 9th and 10th, this is revision. I hope you go through the entire thing just so that you recall the rules that are there, and then you can proceed to solving your exercises. So let's begin with active and passive voice. Now, this question for standard 8th, 9th and 10th is usually in the transformation of sentences. So for your language paper, it's question 5D, which has the 8-mark transformation of sentences. Alright, let's proceed. Now, let's take a sentence. John helped Paul. If you have referred to the video on verbs, again, if before doing active passive voice, you need to have the basic idea of verbs, very, very strong, so that you can transform these sentences correctly. If you're not sure of your verbs and tenses, then you will face challenges in identifying the verb and transforming the sentence. Alright, so if you have watched the video on verbs before, and you should be able to identify the subject and the main verb. Take your time, mark it before I proceed to the next slide, identify which is the subject and which is the verb. Alright, assuming that you have already done that, let's proceed and see. John is our subject, that means the doer of the action, and you have the main verb, which obviously is the finite verb, and it follows the subject is helped. Now, the last word, which is Paul, which is also a noun, becomes the object. That means Paul is receiving the action that John is doing. Okay, so there is a transfer of action that is taking place. John is a subject and he's transferring some action onto the object, which is Paul. Now, this sentence is what is called as an active sentence. Why do we call it an active sentence? Because here the subject is active. The subject is actively doing the action. Alright? That is why we call it an active sentence. Now, we need to transform this sentence into a passive sentence. And passive means that the subject will now take a back seat. It's not going to do the main role, while the object that was there will come forward and do the main work. So the subject is going to become passive, okay, not have a major role to play in your sentence. Now, one thing that you must keep in mind for transformation of sentences is that you do not, there's an error in that. Do not change the meaning of the sentence. At no point for that 8-mark answer, even for your joining of sentences, you should not change the meaning of the sentence. Alright, so we need to change this from active to passive voice without changing the meaning of the sentence. So, how do we do this? John, which is the subject, will now become passive, as we said, and will take the place of Paul, while Paul, which was the object, will come forward and take the place of the subject. Okay, so our subject is now going to become passive. What is the other thing that you need to remember when you are transforming the sentence? We are not only interchanging the subject and the object, we're also going to be changing the verb that is there. Now, if you remember the sentence, okay, helped is the main verb. Can you identify what is the tense of this verb? If you have seen the slide before, maybe you'll know already, but try it. What tense is this verb in? Okay, so I'm guessing you know the answer. Okay, the tense of the verb is past tense. And what we need to do, because I know the tense of the verb is in past tense, I need to use the past form of to be. If you do not know what to be can be conjugated into, you need to check the verbs video again, because you need to know the forms of to be. Right? So we need to use the past form of to be, which is either was or were. Okay? Along with that, we need to use the past participle of the verb. Now I know that my verb is helped. What is the past participle of helped? Had helped. So helped itself. If you don't know past participles of verbs again, you need to watch the video on verbs. And so was plus helped. Now another thing that needs to be added to the sentence is the word by. You need to be careful because sometimes it's not just by, sometimes you have to add the word to. Based on, see, your sentence needs to make grammatical sense. And if your sentence does not make sense with by, you know the word to can be added. Okay? So the sentence therefore becomes Paul, taking the role of the subject, was helped, which is my tense, by John. Alright? Now, I've just shown you an example with the past tense, which is a simple past tense, but there are many tenses, right? And so every tense will have its own way of getting transformed. And that is why we need to be cautious. We need to be able to identify the tense of the verb and then accordingly change the tense following the rules of active and passive voice. So, for example, if I give you simple present tense, right, the sentence, he teaches history. Identify the subject, identify the verb. You've already done that. So, he is your subject and teaches is the verb in simple present tense. So, let's see how do we transform this. So, you know history, which is the object, will come in front. He, which is the subject, goes behind. Teaches will take the form of to be first. So present form of to be is or are. Okay, and what is the past participle of teaches? Had taught or has taught. So taught is the past participle and by. So history is taught by him. Okay, if you've seen how I went word by word, I have not rushed with it. There are a lot of students whose their skill is where they see the sentence and they're able to transform it quickly. The rest of us, sometimes we make errors, and even I tend to make those errors, and that's why go word by word and see if you've done justice to every word in that sentence, because every word will change its place or will change its form, and that is why identify each and every word and see to it that you have transformed it. Alright, so let's look at the next one, present continuous tense. Here's your sentence. The teacher is scolding the students. Which is your subject? Have you managed to identify it? Here the subject is the teacher. Can you identify which is your verb? The verb is scolding. If you remember present continuous or even continuous form, there will be ing, right? So is scolding. Now accordingly I need to change. Okay, my object is the students. The students will come ahead. The teacher moves behind. What happens to my verb? Is scolding. What is the form of to be here? Was the teacher, the students were, because they're plural, right? Many students. So were and being is the form, okay? The continuous form of to be. So were being. What is the past participle of scolding? Had scolded. So the students were being scolded, or sorry, are being, not were. My mistake. Present tense. Okay, so not were. The students are being scolded by the teacher. Okay, that's what I said. Even I can make mistakes. That's why be very, very, very careful. Since this is in present form, you cannot use were, you use are. Let's move ahead. The present perfect tense. If you know how to identify a perfect tense, you will have the word have, had. Given that this is present, you will have and or has, and the past participle, which is which you should know how to transform. Anyways, let's look at the sentence. The snake has bitten him. The snake is my subject. Has bitten is my verb in the past perfect tense. Him is my object. So I have to bring the object in front. He has been bitten by the snake. Okay, has lets me keep this tense as the perfect tense. Been is the form of to be. Okay, and bitten is the past participle of bite. Let's move ahead. Simple past tense. He taught history. If you know how to do the simple present tense, you should be able to do this. Okay, let me see if you managed to get the answer. If you have gotten it, perfect, you know how to do it. If you haven't, then this is your answer. History comes ahead. The form of to be is was. Past participle is taught by him. He changes to him. Past continuous. Sorry, the answer is there. My transition did not work. Okay, so the teacher was scolding the students. The students were being. You must remember that the subject and the verb must agree. So I cannot say the students was being. The students were being because there are many students. Were, we keep it in the past tense. Being is the form of to be. And scolded is my past participle. By has to be used and the teacher is my subject who has become passive. Now, let's look over here is the past perfect tense. The snake had bitten him. He had been bitten by the snake. He will teach history. History will be taught by him. This is simple future tense which changes to passive. How do you change it to passive form? Okay, so future continuous tense. You have the teacher will be scolding the students. There is no passive voice. You can try changing it and you will see that you will not get an answer. So there is no passive voice in future continuous tense. Future perfect tense. She will have told the truth. Can you try doing this on your own? Because you've seen the examples of present and past. You know you need to follow similar rules. So to see if you get the answer. I'm assuming you've solved it and you've gotten the answer. The answer will be, the truth will have been told by her. Alright, if you managed to get the answer, good job. If you haven't, practice. So, here's a few sentences for you. Now, just to be careful when you're solving the sentences, there are some sentences that are in active form and you have to change it to passive. And there are some sentences that are in passive form and you need to change it to the active form. Now, you know you just need to do the opposite of it. If the rules that you are following for active, when you're changing from passive to active, you need to just twist the rules around, turn it around. Okay, so pause the video, solve these, and then let's see if you've managed to get the answers. Assuming that you've already solved the sentences, let's see if you have gotten these answers. So take a pencil or a pen and just tick mark if you've gotten the right answer, put a cross if you've gotten the wrong answer, and write the correct answer next to it. It's fantastic, you did the first part. Now in grammar there are a lot of rules, right? This is the basic sentence that you have which you need to change from active to passive or vice versa. Now, you can, there are other rules, there are other types of sentences that you need to transform. And there are other rules that you need to follow when you're transforming the sentence. So let's have a look at some of these rules. So the rule one, if we've seen the subject so far, so John helped Paul and there was only one object. Sometimes you have more than one object. So what do we do then? For example, I gave Sita a book. If you can identify the subject, the tense, and the object here. Have you managed to do that? Alright, so let me give you the answer. I is the subject, gave is the tense, verb, and Sita is an object here, and a book is an object. Another reminder is object doesn't necessarily mean a thing. Okay, an object here in these kind of sentences is the receiver of certain action. Okay, so it's not a thing. Like according to you, a book is a thing, so it is an object. That's not how it follows. Okay, over here Sita is the object also. Okay, so let's look at the answer. How do I transform this? There are two ways that I can do. Because there are two objects, I can either bring a book forward. So a book was given to Sita by me, or I can bring Sita ahead. Sita was given a book by me. Okay, so any of those objects can come in front. You change your tense. Okay, and you then continue the rest of the sentence with by, that is there for the preceding the subject. The other rule is, what if you don't have a subject itself? Now, what kind of sentences do you actually get no subject in? So let's look at this sentence. My book has been stolen. This sentence is actually in the passive voice. Because if I now complete the sentence for you, my book has been stolen by someone. I don't know who the person is. Okay? So by someone. It's just that there is no subject there. Because I don't know who has done it. Right? So the subject is not there. But when I am transforming it now to the active voice, from passive to the active voice, I need a subject. So what am I going to do? This by someone, because I don't know who it is, will come ahead. Okay? Someone has stolen my book. Okay? Next one. When you have sentences that are interrogative. What are interrogative sentences? Just a recap. The ones with the question mark. So, for example, has he finished the task? Okay. How do I transform an interrogative sentence? Let's find the subject first, as usual. Has he finished the task? Who is the subject here? Who is like doing the verb? He. Okay. Which is the verb? Can you identify the verb for me? Has finished. How did I get has finished? Just like do a trick. Change that question into a sentence form. Okay? He has finished the task. Has he finished the task? Okay? So, has finished is the verb. The task becomes my object. Okay, now I need to transform this. Has he finished the task? I need to keep it in interrogative form. So, has the task been finished by him? Okay? So again, the same rules apply. Has, the task comes in front because it is my object. Been finished, because has been finished would have been the verb, by him. Okay? Let's look at another one. Who gave these orders? Okay? By whom? Now why did I get this by whom? Because there is no subject, if you can see. Who gave this orders? I don't know who has given the orders. So by whom? Okay? Were these orders given? Now, let's look at the next one. Imperative sentences. One thing that you need to remember about imperative sentences is that there is a hidden subject. It's not like there's no subject, but there is a hidden subject. So for example, when I say shut the door, okay, I'm merely asking somebody to do it. I may be pointing at somebody. It's an order, it's an instruction. I can be addressing a group, I can be addressing a person. The subject is not mentioned in imperative sentences. So, open the door. Okay, how do I transform this? The easiest one is let the door be opened. Okay. Another way of transforming this in passive is the door should be opened, because the door is my object then. Okay, so the door should be open or let the door be open. Okay, next one. Bring the keys to me. Can you try this one on your own? Sorry, bring the keys to the room. Let the keys be brought to the room, or the keys should be brought to the room. Now, here are 5 more sentences which are following the previous rules that we've done. Take your time, solve it, and then we will check and see if you've managed to get the correct answer. So I'm assuming you've paused the video and you have already solved the sentences. Do it on your own. It's okay if you get it wrong for the 8 standards, and even if in the 9th and 10th if you manage to get it wrong, that's fine. It's just that you need to keep practicing and you need to keep at it. And again, if you realize while you're practicing, the thing that you keep goofing up is the verb. Okay, when you're transforming, you don't know whether it's the past or the present. Should it be has been? Should it be had been? So you need to know your verbs really well. You need to be able to identify and know what exactly are the forms, how do they transform. Okay, what role do those verbs play in those sentences? And if you don't have that knowledge very clearly, then you will struggle. If you know your verbs very well, then this becomes really easy. So let's see what the answers are. So take your time, pause the video, tick mark if it's correct, cross if it's wrong, and write the correct answer next to it so that you will always remember what the answer was. Now, just because I have written will or shall, it means either. Please don't add both. Okay, you can choose one. With that, we have come to an end. We have finished the topic of active and passive voice. Please make sure that you are solving sufficient number of sentences for active and passive. Your teachers and us we will obviously be giving you enough practice for that. Until then, go through your verbs, try and see you get this basic knowledge right. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.